Is the 2023 Acura MDX the king of midsize luxury crossover three-row SUVs? Boy, that sure is a mouthful, so you can be guaranteed I won't be repeating that over and over again in the video, or maybe I'll try. Promise, I won't do that. Today I'm in Orr Acura here in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we are going to try to answer that exact question that I just gave you. It's also in the title, so you know what we're up to. Here's the thing. This is an SUV that balances something that a lot of SUVs don't. Sporty handling in conjunction with a comfortable ride quality. A lot of the time you sacrifice one to have the other. You typically cannot get both. It's also better priced than most competitors. It has obviously a luxurious interior, and you get a lot of technology and driving aids for the money. Let's dive in and see exactly what we have. As we start looking here at the front end, I have to say, one of my favorite features of the exterior of the MDX has to be the diamond pentagon grille, because of the fact that no matter which angle you're looking from, it looks like it's already in motion. The way everything kind of just comes out, almost as if it's a splash, as if somebody just threw the Acura logo right into the center of the grille and it just kind of created this ripple effect. That's pretty cool. You're going to have the chrome surround on the grille. The jewel eye headlights, LED right there. We're also going to have the LED daytime running lights. I liked how the lights come over. They're gonna just kind of have a little bit of a dip right here, kind of almost like a check mark, and then they work their way up. It really just keeps the idea that this vehicle already looks like it's in motion before it actually is. And obviously the turn signal indicator here, it's slim, it's nice and long. It just fits the overall design of the headlights. And we're going to take a look here at something, and you might wonder, are there air curtains here? Not in this particular case. You can see there's nothing coming through here. You're still going to have some solid gas mileage numbers with this vehicle. Tire and wheel size, 255 on the width, so a nice meaty wide tire. Going to have a lot of width, a lot of tread on the road there. And then the 55 series sidewall, that's going to contribute to good ride quality because it has more absorption power, so hitting the bumps when you're driving down the road. And that's going to be wrapped around the 20-inch wheels. A very nice look, as you can see. And then as we work our way up onto the hood, with this platinum white exterior color, it's a little challenging to see the lines the way it would be maybe with a darker color, but we'll try and give you the best look anyway. Everything comes up off of the fender. It works its way up, kind of has a rounded look, and then it goes up, has a peak, and it's going to come back down. Kind of a valley here, another peak. Then in the middle, we're going to have a fairly large bulge here. You're going to have that center line right there that right towards the top, kind of hard to see again because of the platinum white exterior color, starts to disappear away. So let's address a couple of things that I know a lot of people ask about if I don't say anything. Number one, does it have the turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors? Yes, it does. In fact, you're going to have the body color side view mirrors. You're going to have the chrome piece right here. Now, you don't have remote start built into the remote, but you do have power adjustable and heated side view mirrors. They are power folding as well. So not only when I hit the button right there, but when you lock the vehicle as well, they're going to fold in like that. That's something people like. No big deal with that. I think that's nice. It's a good feature. It is here. Body color on the door handles and a combination of chrome around the windows right here. The surround working its way back to the quarter window right here. A very nice size though. So rear seat passengers can see out very well. That's good. A combination with this nice window tint. You're going to have the gloss black here to accent things not only on the rear of the rear door, but the front of the rear door and the rear of the front door. Again, that's one of those things I'm so glad I don't have to say more than once. It could be a tongue twister. And you know what? They even have pollen intertwined with this platinum white exterior color. Yeah, it's a bit much. There's a lot of pollen out here right now, but you can kind of see that. I didn't wash it, but I think we're doing okay. It's not too dirty. Body color shark fin antenna. I don't know, maybe a pollen color shark fin antenna up there as well. And things finish off here off the roof with a rear roof spoiler. That functional rear roof spoiler that gives it a nice sporty look, but also channels air. It's going to actually go over the rear window, kind of like this. And that helps to keep the rear window clean when the vehicle is in motion. But if that gets dirty when the vehicle is not in motion, obviously you got that rear window wiper to help out with that. And we finish things off here with the LED taillights. And again, it really accents the design of the front headlight housing, kind of that design where it comes down, almost looks like a check mark and then works its way up. It just looks like it's in motion. The chrome back here, quite a bit of chrome as far as the accent pieces around on the vehicle. And then we're going to have the functional exhaust outlets right here. We're going to have the finishers right there that look really nice, and the nice look of the rear diffuser back here. Speaking of the exhaust outlets right there, why don't we pop the hood open and see exactly what's under the hood that's creating that exhaust. One of the things I like here, this is really more of a car guy sort of thing, a gearhead, whatever you want to say, but I like the fact that you have the struts that help raise the hood and keep it in place. You don't have to go around looking for the prop rod to put up there manually and do all that. For the average person, that probably means nothing, but for someone like me, well, it's pretty important. It's just one of those things, like I say. And it reveals the 3.5 liter six-cylinder, 290 horsepower, 267 pounds-feet of torque. We also have the 10-speed automatic transmission. And what about those MPGs? Let's see exactly what they are. Let's see here. Going to be 19 city, 26 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas is what Acura says you should use for every 100 miles you drive. And here's a little something that might be a little more helpful to you. You might say, how much gas can that MDX hold? It has an 18.5 gallon gas tank. And for those who might say, hey, you missed something, Tom, you told us that it has the turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors, but it doesn't have remote start. Is that right? Actually, it's not right. It does have remote start, just not on the remote. You can remote start this MDX via the app on your cell phone. And a great way to kill some time while I'm opening the power rear tailgate for the MDX is to tell you about towing capacity. There's two different numbers. If you have the front wheel drive model, you can tow up to 3,500 pounds. If you have the all-wheel drive model, I almost said rear, there is not a rear-wheel drive MDX. If you have all-wheel drive, you're looking at being able to tow up to 5,000 pounds. You can see that you do have the 12-volt power outlet back here. A lot of advantages there. Obviously, there is a third row back here. I just haven't put it up yet, but you can see by the seat belts being here, that's kind of a dead giveaway. Cargo capacity. 18.1 cubic feet up to 95 cubic feet. And here's the thing, you might say, well, what exactly does that mean? I don't know what a cubic foot really is. A basketball is the size of a cubic foot, or maybe I should say a cubic foot is the size of a basketball. You also have additional space here under the floor, but there's one really cool feature that I like about this floor. If you're gonna haul something back here and maybe you don't have your cargo mat right here available, it's not in the vehicle, whatever the case is, there's a nice little nifty trick here that you can use. And that nifty trick is the fact that you can actually turn this floor over to the plastic side. So you have the carpeted side, and when you're gonna haul something back here, maybe some plants or something, I don't know what it would be, the kids' small sandbox, and you don't want to get sand over this area right here. That is how you take care of business on that particular situation. Obviously a panoramic sunroof, really like the view right there. Tell me down in the comments what your personal preference is. Do you like the panoramic sunroof, or does it really matter if it's a conventional size or maybe no sunroof at all? And last but not least, let's say you're reaching up here to open or close, I should say, to reach up here to close the button and, well, close the tailgate. Can I get that right? Wow. We're not going to do this in 2 takes, just one. But if you say to yourself, that's too high for me, well, you might have to get a step ladder and then pull it down to the height that you want, and then you hold the button right here and you listen for the beeps. Now we're going to close this down just to demonstrate. Do this as fast as the vehicle will allow us to do it. But that is how you reset the height of this power tailgate back here. Very easy to do. There's nothing in the infotainment screen. There's not a button on the interior. This is how you do it. That's simple. And by the way, when it comes to tailgating, yes, there's a reason why I'm showing you this particular angle of a shot. Well, when it's dark outside, you have an advantage of some extra lighting built into the inside of this powered tailgate that shines down. And so that might really make you the life of the party at the next tailgate party you go to. I told you we were going to put those rear seats up, but I did want to show you something real quick with this. To put the seats down, I think I can do this one-handed. Here's the release. You're going to pull down on that. Let's see, can I do this? There we go. You're going to pull down like that, and to put them back up, it's just so simple. You just reach right here and pull that up. They're not heavy at all. Put the headrest back in place, and you're ready to go. For you parents out there, I have a little tip for you that might be helpful. If you have the child safety seats and all here and you need to maybe put the child safety locks on for whatever reason, here's something you won't find on the driver's side door panel. Notice you have the buttons for the windows. You can lock and unlock the windows of the doors and control those heated, power adjustable, power folding side view mirrors. Again, a big mouthful. We're not going to say more than once. But did you notice what's not there? The child safety locks. You activate those on the rear doors, and it's done right here. So when this is in its up position, that button's in its upright position, or switch. Should we call it a switch or a button? Well, I don't know. Tell me what you think. But right now they're inactive. Push that down like that, they are active. And so let's just say you bought your new MDX and you're bored and you pull over on the side of the road in the middle of the Mojave Desert, for example. Well, make sure one of these is unlocked. Otherwise, if they're both locked, you're going to be crawling through the pass-through if you have nobody to help you when you're out in the middle of nowhere, or maybe just in your driveway. And one thing that you Honda owners might recognize, I'm going to show you how easy it is to get in the back seat. All I have to do is push that button right there, and it pretty much gets the seat out of the way for me. I pushed that up about 3 inches. So let's see how I fit back here. In fact, let's see here. I probably should have moved that out of the way, but I'm not going to worry about it. But here's the thing. You can see how far back the seat goes back here. So if I move over on this side with the seat all the way back, well, I don't really have a lot of leg room. But these seats do slide back and forth on the tracks. That's a good thing. So you do have additional leg space available back here if needed. If adults need to ride back here, they can change the setting on that if they want to. And obviously you can use, there's a tool that comes with the vehicle that allows you to unlatch the seat belt right there and get it out of the way as well, so that it's not a problem. See, I told you you can get that out of the way, just in case you thought I was lying to you. There you go, it's out of the way. But there's one more interesting little feature here that I want to show you. You see the middle seat right there? You can fold that down and take advantage of the cup holders and all the storage right there for the snacks. And now all of a sudden, it's not there. How did I do that? Well, there's a release on the seat. You can actually take it. You can store it back here if you want to, or you could just leave it at home somewhere. Just don't lose track of it. I don't know how you could lose track of something this big, but here's what happens. When you pull on this release, that's what folds the seat back down. And then right here on the front, you can pull on this release, and that allows you to tilt the whole thing forward. It's hard for me to do that one-handed, but it allows you to tilt the whole thing forward, and then you can basically lift it up off of the track that it sits on, or the little pieces that it sits on, which would be these right here. It has hooks that kind of go in like that, so you kind of have to tilt it up and then pick it up back at an angle. But it's not that terribly heavy. I don't know, 30 to 40 pounds probably, so not too bad. But it's nice to have that option if you needed, well, a pass-through, for example, or just whatever you wanted to use that for. And now we can talk a little bit more about your rear seat passengers, or should I say middle row seat passengers, what they're going to find. You can have the privacy shades right here. That definitely makes a difference. We're going to have nice, comfortable armrests that is fairly soft. And when you put your arm on there, it actually feels softer just doing the armrest test than it does using the poke test, almost like I'm testing for the doneness of a steak, if you know how that works. If you ever have a steak that feels like that, well, you probably shouldn't eat it. It's been way too well done, and you're not supposed to do that. Okay, back on track with our car review video, or MDX review video. You can see I have a nice sized door bin right here. A nice large bottle can go right there. If you want to put your bottle of protein powder or pre-workout, or you take your friends to the gym, that would fit in there quite well. The beef jerky and other post-workout snacks could be right there. We'll close the door. And on the rear of the seats, the seat back pockets, so a little bit of extra storage, and a lot going on here on the rear of the center console. You got tri-zone climate control here, so you can control the 2 zones in the front, the single zone here in the rear. That obviously goes all the way back there into the rear seating area. Hey, there's more cup holders back there too, right? Nobody is going to go thirsty in this MDX. But you can see that you can control everything here as far as fan speed. You can control the temperature, everything there that you would expect. And you're also going to have a power outlet, or excuse me, a 12-volt outlet right there. Technically, that is a power outlet, I guess, but it's a 12-volt power outlet. USB connectivity. And the one thing I want to see more car makers start doing, instead of having 2 USB connections back here, have 3, because you have seating for 3 people in this center row. That is, unless everyone's really thirsty and wants a snack and they have to throw somebody back there, maybe to the 3rd row, I don't know. But one way or another, that's how that works. You could just fold this down. There we go. Kind of show you how that works. I can do that one-handed, as you can see. And for those of you who are saying, Tom, I have a door bin snob in my life. I don't know what to do. They're not going to like the size of those door bins on the rear doors. Well, they better call Shotgun. And hopefully there's only one person, because they'll only have this one large door bin, unless they're going to take your spot and drive, because, well, obviously you have the larger door bin right here. Again, the nice soft touch materials. Nice material throughout. This is espresso interior, by the way. Not espresso, but espresso. Yes, sometimes people say that. It's true. Just listen. You'll hear it next time. And then we're going to have a lot of piano black here. A lot of that gloss black finish. One thing I like here, at the price point of this particular model, I see vehicles that cost a lot more than this that don't have seat memory on the passenger side. So obviously, you know, you're going to have it on the driver's side. Obviously, you're going to have the power seats for the driver and the passenger, and that gloss black is going to flow all the way into the interior. It's going to flow its way on here to the center console area. You're going to have your connection or connectivity options there, as well as down here. There's a 12-volt power outlet right there. A lot going on here. Your wireless charging right here for the cell phone, obviously, and what I like to call the multitasking lid for the center console. It's also an armrest. That's why it's a multitasker. And then you actually have 2 different options here. You have the little small area right there, and then you have the larger center console area. Again, more connectivity, another 12-volt power outlet, and another USB option. Quite a bit going on there. So let's see here what we have with the vanity mirror. It is a rather windy day. You can see by how my hair looks in the mirror. Light right here, obviously. Probably don't have to tell you about that. You know what that is, don't you? But let's see how far back. You know, I really like this. If you're riding in the front seat, that's good, because check this out. A lot of these sun visors are going to go to about right there, something like that. So if you're sitting far enough back, reclined enough back, you can get some light in through here. This one covers the entire window, so kudos to Acura for doing that. There's the oh crap handle when you want to put that 290 horsepower through its paces. But let's see what's going to happen with the driver's compartment. With you as the driver, most likely you're going to be the driver if you're watching this video. What are you going to find when you hop into the driver's seat? Before we hop into the driver's seat, I did want to address one thing. You might have noticed I walked up earlier and just pushed on this gas door and it opened. You might think, well, I don't want someone to have access to my 18.5-gallon gas tank that easily. Well, guess what? The vehicle's locked right now. So that's why I can't get into it. Now I've unlocked the vehicle. There we go. No problem. You don't have to worry about anything. And since we pretty much already took a look at the driver's side door, we're not going to go into that anymore, but obviously you're going to have a lot of your features for safety here. If you wanted to try and do a front-wheel drive burnout, if your MDX is front-wheel drive, you can turn off the traction control right there and do that. You do have a power adjustable via this control right here, tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. That's always a bonus, and we'll hop inside here. And I tell you what, it just stopped me in my tracks. Just had to let you hear that and see that. You probably already know that it's there. But it's really cool to have the kind of introduction, welcome to your MDX music that you have right there. And you also have it at the end, and it's even cooler than that. But we'll get to that. As of right now, keep in mind, this model was fully redesigned for the 2022 model year, but it's still very relevant. It still looks very modern with a nice digital instrument cluster and the nice steering wheel, very comfortable. It is leather wrapped. You have all of the safety features here, adaptive cruise control, all that good stuff. There's a lot that you can go through here, depending on what you want your vehicle to do. And something that I really like is the fact that right here, you have your mode selector. And when you select a mode, a driving mode, as you can see, we're in sport mode now. You can actually push right here, and it will let you go into individual so you can configure everything however you want it. We also have normal. We also have comfort. Let's see, let's go back to comfort. There we go. I really like the graphics, the animated graphics right there. And you have snow. If you're going to be driving in snow, I would definitely recommend buying the all-wheel drive version. Now, one thing that I think a lot of people might at first say, I'm not so sure about that, but once you get used to it, it's not a problem. This is not a touchscreen, so if Monk was going to buy a mid-size luxury crossover SUV, this would probably be it, because then he wouldn't have to worry about fingerprints on the screen. So how do you control that? Right here. So here's the thing. Let's see if I can back up here and show you. You can see that I have my finger on the trackpad right here, but here's what happens. You have to actually press down to select. So we're going to select navigation. So you saw how I think you could see it, hopefully. You have to actually press down on the trackpad to be able to make that work, to use that as your selection. And then obviously you have your back button right there. We can go back up here and go to whatever else we want to as far as these different screens go. You've got Acura Link up here, and then you've got Alexa right there. If you want to use Alexa, you can do that. Okay, I'll be honest, it takes some getting used to, but once you're used to it, it's really not that bad. It's just like anything else. Once you're used to it, it works really well. And then obviously you're going to have your cameras. Let's go into reverse and take a look at what all we have there. There are several different views, so let's go through what those are. Very easy to do. And then obviously you're going to have your parking sensors and everything around you on the front and on the rear. So it's going to let you know what's going on around you. A very simplistic system, but very effective. Like I said, you have a lot of features and functionality here. Technology and safety features for the money. Quite impressive. And then if you want to turn off the auto stop start feature, or what's often called idle stop, that's how you do it right there. There's your brake hold mode. You come to a complete stop. When that is activated, the brakes don't release until you touch the gas again. So if you're in a lot of stop and go traffic, that's useful. The volume control for your radio is right here. You can turn that on and off. And just ultimately a very nice look throughout the interior. I do like the fact that you have the floating touchscreen right here. Well, I'm sorry, you have the floating screen. Okay, yes, I corrected myself on that before anybody else could, unless somebody paused the video, but I think you know what I meant. But that floating look, it really does work very well. It looks nice. It's better than having it inset into the dashboard at an angle, because that will also reduce glare. And there is one more thing I wanted to share with you. I want to let you hear the ELS Premium Audio 12-speaker stereo system in this car, or in this MDX. So what I'm going to do is let you listen on my phone that I have paired to the infotainment system and see what it sounds like. And you have that about 1 to 2 second delay when you push pause on your phone before it actually stops playing. Not a big deal. But as you can see, the graphics are nice and crisp and clear on the infotainment screen. A very, very nice and modern looking interior. It does have ambient lighting. I don't know if I can find a dark enough place to show that to you, but take my word for it, it is here. And remember how I told you that when you leave your MDX, you have a really cool message that it gives you on the screen, the graphics and the sound and everything. It's really not a message, but you push the start-stop button for the engine right here to shut things down, and here's what happens. I was going to say sometimes it takes a few seconds, but it didn't that time. All right, we're going to get out on our test drive, and for the moment, I don't know that I can tell you too much about acceleration and all that good stuff, but I know a lot of people in this day and age are probably going to say, is 290 horsepower enough? Well, I can guarantee you it is enough. And so the thing about it is that 290 horsepower years ago was unheard of. There was a time when vehicles with V8s, Ford F-150s, and different vehicles of the like They had V8s in them that were making 150 horsepower. So 290 is not so bad. It's definitely going to get down the road just fine. And I haven't changed driving modes yet. Just kind of driving along, seeing how things go. Now you're going to get a little bit of body roll going into a corner like I just did. And you might wonder, well, why is that? And what does that matter? Well, just know that's one of the reasons why you're going to have a nice, smooth ride quality. It's not bad, it's just a situation where it's not going to have sports car-like handling, well, because it's got that comfortable ride quality. So sometimes you sacrifice a little bit in that respect, but it still has good handling ability, even contrary to that. I'm just telling you what my driving experience is like. But the good news is that on every road surface I've driven this MDX on, the ride quality has been good, and we definitely have some pretty nasty roads here in Northwest Louisiana. So far, I've really enjoyed the driving experience. The leather steering wheel is nice and comfortable, leather wrapped. Like I said earlier, it's tilt and telescopically adjustable, so you can set it wherever you want it to be with the power button on the side, so that makes a big difference. Everything here, a very comfortable and roomy interior. The driver, the passengers, plenty of space, headroom, legroom. You saw what you have in that third row that is obviously adjustable, so you don't have to just deal with being cramped up back there if you wind up back there, if you have passengers that wind up back there. So obviously everything can be made to be comfortable for everybody. But one thing I would like to do here, I think we're about to have an opening here in just a minute. Hopefully we're going to get around some of these vehicles right here and change our driving mode and go into sport mode and just see what the differences are. I'm going to get off of this road I'm on right here and give it a little bit of gas. And if in case you're wondering, well, what can you do taking full advantage of 290 horsepower? Well, let's find out. Here we go. We're going to get up here and just give it a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy, but let's just see how it does. Yeah, it definitely gets up and goes without any problem whatsoever. And by the way, you do have paddle shifters on the steering wheel. I didn't talk about those earlier. You likely saw them. But you've got the paddle shifters to manage that 8-speed automatic transmission if you want to. You can obviously do that in sport mode, probably in a couple of other modes as well, I would imagine. I haven't looked that up, so forgive me if I don't have that information off the top of my head. But overall, it's a very fun vehicle to drive. Pretty easy to see out of. You've got all the typical safety features such as lane keeping assist and road departure, blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise control. Everything is here. It's a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. And I like the fact that the brake pedal is very manageable. Let's get on the gas just a little bit here and see what we can do. Now, I'm not in sport mode right now, but wow, you can hear that motor going to work. Not too bad. I better slow back down in case the popo's around trying to clock my speed. We don't want a vehicle visionary ticket. Hey, by the way, I wanted to tell all of you who are watching this video about something really special, an offer from Orr Acura just for you. If you're going to come into Orr Acura and buy an Acura vehicle, a new vehicle, tell whoever you talk to in sales that you heard about them or you came in because of one of my videos. Tell them that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you. And here's the thing, when you do that, you automatically get $500 off any vehicle you purchase. So now it's your turn to talk down in the comments section. What do you think about the 2023 Acura MDX? Is it the king of the mid-size luxury 3-row crossover SUV? I don't even know if I said that in correct order or not, but you know what it means. Tell me what you think, what your thoughts are, what your answer is, and why you answered the way that you did. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends here at Orr Acura in Shreveport, Louisiana for loaning me this MDX for the day, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.